believe last minute support is possible because I do. And why? Well, that's what you're about to experience in a little bit, because Ida, if I say her name correctly, is going to join me. So I'm going to invite her. Give me a sec. Oh, and there are a lot of more people. So let's see when she's on here. No, we need
Hey,
to make
Lexi.
it. Oh, there she is. So is it Ida or is it Ida?
Ida.
Ida.
I actually
Okay.
go by both. People with the French background go Ida, but more of an English background go Ida. So I go by both.
Oh, okay. Which one do you prefer?
Ida.
Ida. Okay. Well, hello,
Yes.
Ida. So I made this statement just now, um, and it is last minute sport is possible, and the proof is in the pudding because I'm talking about it right now.
It is.
Yeah, it is. So yesterday I was doing this live with Mina, and
Yes.
you were texting on and off. And quite honest, after 2 hours and being totally wiped out, I have completely forgotten what it was all about. But what do you remember from yesterday's live?
So you and Mina, at the beginning of it, she was talking about her journey, and she talked about how she came in contact with Tony Robbins.
Yes,
And then she was sharing her story about how she moved over to Canada from Ethiopia.
yes,
And I think she said it was the Ethiopian New Year, and she was driving and she had an accident here in Canada
yes.
because she was feeling this victim mindset, right? And then she talked about how she had an accounting background from Ethiopia, and then when she came over, she had a hard time getting her job
That's
here.
true.
And yeah, yeah. And so I was just saying that is totally relatable because I am also an accountant. I had my bachelor's from Africa, from Cameroon, before coming over here. And I moved here alone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very relatable. And yeah, anyway, that's what I was going back and forth with, because when she was saying it, I was like, oh my God, yeah, your story is so relatable.
Okay. Now I know. Yesterday we were talking about where Mary is from, but I think she's from Cameroon too.
Mary, yes, Mary Maimo is from Cameroon, yes.
Yes, yes. Now I'm like, and I was like yesterday. Where is she from? Where is she from? So is Cameroon in Ethiopia?
No, it's in
Oh,
Africa. So Ethiopia and Cameroon, I'm driving you so you would see me looking a little bit the other way. Ethiopia and Cameroon are both in Africa, but I think Ethiopia is more in the northern part, if I'm not mistaken, and Cameroon is more in the center west.
yeah. Okay. So I was corrected. It was Africa, not Ethiopia. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I was a little bit sorry that I didn't hear. And please keep your eyes on the road. I've got enough pictures to take and give you a really great smiling face later on the cover of this live. Um, oh, here I go. Yeah, I was
Last minute support.
last minute sport. Yeah, that's so true. So, you said you came from Cameroon too. So you're in Canada now?
Yes, I'm in Montreal,
You're in
Canada,
Montreal.
yes.
So how did it go for you? Did you miss support too?
Did I? Yeah, so just like what Mina was saying yesterday, when you're back home, when you have this multi-generational families and almost like in the same place, you always have somebody there for you in the sense like if I didn't have my kids in Cameroon, but if I did, I would know that there's always somebody who can watch them if I had to go do something.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get over to a new country as a newcomer, as a new immigrant, especially when you come there on your own, you're pretty much on your own for everything.
Yes.
So you need to start building your new circle and finding your support system. And sometimes you're shortchanged because you wouldn't always get what you're used to having. And you really need to fix your mindset, because if you don't, then you start putting yourself, or you start feeling like a victim instead of just, understanding that, hey, this is life. You need to make the best of it.
So was there a moment that you felt like a victim? Or you never felt like a victim? It's like, okay, this was my choice, and I'm going to make the best of it.
I did not feel like a victim because I chose to move to Canada. I had a really good job in Africa, but I wanted to expand. I wanted to see what else was out there.
Yes.
So I chose to move here, but when I got here, within the first few weeks or maybe a couple of months, I was like, oh my God, what did I come to do here? I wanted to go back.
Okay.
I wanted to go back. And so I actually did a post on my Instagram today and I was saying, you know what, when you come here within the first few weeks, you're gonna feel like you want to go back home because it's not all rosy as it appears. But you really just need to know that there's something great in you and you just need to dig into it. So I never felt like a victim, but I felt disappointed when I moved over here because it wasn't what I expected it to be. But again, just knowing that, hey, if others have made it here, I can make it. And
So
just having that mindset and going for it.
yeah, cool, cool. That's good. So how long have you been in Canada, in Montreal now?
I moved here in 2010, so this is the 12th year.
Wow.
I'm in the tunnel.
Okay. Well, we can still see you, but if the
I'm
connection,
going to get out in like a couple of seconds.
yeah. So I actually have family in Montreal. I just haven't been to
You do?
Montreal yet. Yes, yes, I do, and they are the white variant from me. So those are the big ones with the blonde hair and the blue eyes.
Okay.
That's funny. When people hear my last name, they always ask, is it from the Indonesian branch or the other one? Because whenever they see me, of course, they know that's from the Indonesian version. But the other ones are all, yeah, they're Dutch, So
What's your last name?
it's Letterhoff. And
It sounds
it's
German.
well, that's because Germany and Holland are next to one another, so that makes sense. So we're still not sure. There
Mm,
is some German blood in my father's heritage and also Russian, but it's not a common Dutch name. It's not. So because
okay.
most Dutch people, their last names are from a city or village. So like Vandenberg, the group, it's from the mountain.
Mhm.
Van den Plas is from the pool, and there are lots of I don't know people who are called from Amsterdam, as in from Amsterdam, but they're probably out there. so so what would you say about support? Now you're here for 12 years. Has your view on support in Canada changed?
So yes, it has changed, and I have found my circle of people, and within that time, I mean, a lot has happened, right? I came here as a single girl, and now I'm married and I got 3 kids. So I do have that support system between my husband and I. We have a really solid support system, but also now involving a few friends in that, but knowing friends who will be there for you and whom you're going to be there for as well. It's very important that you build that support system, because without your support system, it's like you're going to struggle. So
Yeah, that's true.
I believe support is something that is really important to give as well as to receive. And generally my view on support is that you need to trust the people whom there's got to be trust
Yes.
both ways. You need to trust that that person is acting in your best interest, and you also need to earn the trust of the people whom you're supporting, because like I mentioned, it's a two-way thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So when I talked about last minute sport, right now, you are supporting me. I'm not sure if I'm supporting you,
Oh
but
yes. Yeah.
so how's trust involved?
Sorry.
How's trust involved when we are talking to one another?
How is trust involved? Hey, okay, you reached out to me like 40 minutes ago, right?
Yes, yes, that's why I love this.
And trust is involved to an extent in this because, hey, okay, the reason you reached out to me, first of all, I think is because I interacted in your video yesterday and you kind of thought, hey, there's something I could pull out from her as well. She might have a story to tell.
Oh yes, absolutely. And I've seen more responses from you. So I've seen you listen to my lives more often. So I was already like, okay, we need to do a live, at some point. And because I knew you were present yesterday at the beginning, I was like, okay, so if we don't have anything to talk about, we can talk about sport because yesterday was about sport, and I knew that something had well triggered, but then in a positive sense. And well, that appears to be true because you can actually just totally rewind the first part of the whole conversation I had with Mina. So that's so cool. And kudos to you, by the way, for being able to do
Oh,
so.
yeah, yeah. Oh, well, I was listening in and I was in the kitchen. I was making some food. I was like, Mina is completely new to movement makers, right? So
Yes,
it's the thing I love too about this movement makers is it's the support that comes from everybody around you. Everybody just wants to see you
yes,
do
agree.
better or do well, and there's that support system. So the little bit of trust that comes into this for me is um some of our conversation is not verbal, but you would feel the energy that somebody brings there. And off the bat, you're like, hey, this is somebody I might be able to trust, or this is somebody who's like, oh no, I can't even go there.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that vibe that we're always giving off, whether we know it or not. There's that vibe we're always giving off, and it builds into the whole trust bank
Yes,
that everybody has. And some people's trust banks are completely depleted. There's no way you can tell me, hey, go have a conversation with this person. I'm like, no, I can't. I don't trust them. But it's not
yes,
like they've done something. It's just the kind of vibe that they give off. It's like, no, 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 I don't want to go there. So I think we both, even though we only communicated by text, I think we kind of trust each other to a little extent. Yes, we can build on that, but there's already a foundation which is not, we're not starting in the red, we're starting in the positive place because you saw me coming onto your life, being very interactive in it. I didn't have to, but I was relatable to it, and you responded to it in a way that I was like, oh yeah, she is also outgoing. I think I could have a conversation with her on a live thing.
yes,
So for me, trust is,
yes.
is
And
really important in all of it.
yeah, that's so true. And I don't know when I said it. I don't know if I said it at the end or if I think I wrote it down in the description actually from the live. And I must have tagged you in there too. Um,
Yes.
expressing like I so appreciate it when people are actually reaching out, even if it's by text, because it gives a way to be able to respond to one another. And there's nothing harder, I don't mind doing a live on my own, but when someone is actually listening, and I don't mind that you're cooking in the kitchen. I mean,
Hmm.
but the fact that you're listening and then you give a little like heads up or a question or whatever it is, it makes all the difference. It makes all the
Yes.
difference. So I guess when it comes to trust, yeah, you won me over just by doing so. Yeah,
You
I
see?
can say I can say anything else. So today is the last day of the month with the theme of support, and we talked a little
Yes.
bit about Evan Carmichael and movement makers. Now, for the people who don't know movement makers is programmed from Evan Carmichael, and he is the YouTube expert. So he also had us do 10 titles for YouTube videos this month. And this week we are going to make a statement which resembles to every video. And that's exactly the reason why my focus was completely off the this month's theme. And then when I was reaching out to you, I realized, but I am constantly talking about support, so I don't
Yes.
really have to. Yeah, I mean, it's almost my middle name because I give people a voice, And by that, I'm reaching out to them and I'm giving them support. So it's actually kind of funny. But what I have noticed when it comes to movement makers is I think I've grown not only on a business level, but also on a personal level. I can turn it around. I've not only grown on a personal level, but also on a business level because of the challenges Evan is giving us, and also because of the support of the community. So,
Yeah.
what would you like to add to it or say about it?
I do like the community a lot. I joined it just around the end of December, and I actually joined it from Clubhouse. I think you guys were having the end of month, um, at the end of the month, just like we're gonna do
Yes,
today.
yes.
So the one that happened in December, I popped into the room and I was listening. And every time when Terry is going live, whenever I can, when Terry is hosting a room in Clubhouse, I usually go in and just get on stage and just share. And on that day, I was really moved. And it was just the energy. It's not like you see anybody on Clubhouse. You just hear their voices and you can hear the emotions coming from people's voices. And it's like, okay, this is the kind of place I want to be at, because you could feel the support, you could feel the positive vibe, you could feel the energy, and you could know that, hey, if I'm a part of this group, something is going to get better. Something in your movement, or something in the way you communicate, or just getting to know new people.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what Movement Makers has been for me. And I really enjoyed the way, I really like the way Evan interacts, and he's always there to support.
Yes, he is.
So you go into many groups where they're like, this is what we are, or this is a mastermind group, or this is a whatever it's called, but you don't get that one-on-one interaction between the members, or between the main person even giving back that kind of feedback that's like, hey, I want to see you succeed, this is what you should do, even though it might hurt sometimes, like, hey, your title sucks, right? He wouldn't say that, but if it's wrong, it's wrong. Right? Go change it. And sometimes people don't want to hear that, but you need it. If you need that kind of feedback, if you want to grow, you'd say, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm going, tell me where I suck. And then you listen and you get the feedback, and then you improve. So that's the kind of feedback I usually don't ask for feedback a lot, but when I do, I want it to be honest. I want it to be an honest feedback, because I want to
Cool.
improve. And that's what it is for me in the whole group. And I really like just getting to meet new people. Who would have known I would talk to Lexi from Dutch? It's Dutch. You're
Yeah, from
Dutch,
the
right? From
Netherlands.
Dutchland? From the Netherlands. Who would have known I would speak to somebody from the Netherlands, right? So
Yeah,
it's,
and that we actually that I actually have relatives close to you. It's even
yeah.
more funnier. So yeah, I remember I was on the live in December because I'm always on those clubhouse meetings because I usually hit my target. Well, I always hit my target, not usually. I always, because it's so, from the first. I think he started with this challenge in September, if I'm correct. September, October, one of the two.
Okay.
And I I already went on the lives with Send the Man 3 times a week. I would join him, and then when we were asked to do the IG lives, I was like, okay, yeah, that's a good challenge. And you know, I sort of got addicted to it because I already have my 2 live shows every week. I keep forgetting a little bit about the doing the live one-on-one with people because before that I would actually go live like every day. so
Mm.
so that has changed a little bit because of the challenge and because of the shows. But I have to say the support is immense. I totally agree. And what I love about Evan, just like you said, he is honest and he is involved. And if
Yes.
you ask him a question, you will get an answer. So, shall I tell you a little secret? Well, it's not
Yeah.
really, it's not a secret as in it's hidden, but only a few people know. So I got to meet Evan at Brandenburg Charts event, and he was talking
Oh.
about YouTube, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. I need to know more about this guy." So when I met him, I was still walking in crutches, so on 1.5 foot, And I'm not sure if it was the year that I actually already had my surgery or was going to have it. But anyway, um, he is a salsa teacher. I don't know if you know, but he teaches salsa to a lot of people.
Hmm.
So I was sitting on the floor in the hallway waiting till he had time, and then I said, one of the things on my bucket list is I want to go dancing again, and I want to say thank you to you for inspiring me, for reminding this. And then he said, well, I don't believe in bucket lists, so let's go and dance right now. And
Oh,
he
wow.
is great at what he does, because I couldn't keep my balance back then. And like I said, I had one foot and a couple of toes on my other foot to use, and we did salsa together. So that was really
Wow.
cool.
That is nice.
And that, yeah, that's so he really made an impression already with the presentation, but when he did that, that was, it was like, okay,
Mm.
how can I not support the guy? And I don't regret one day. I don't regret one day of it. So I've been movement makers a year longer than you have, um,
Okay.
and I can tell you, every time, every other week, it's value, value, value. It's one of the things that I'll hardly ever miss, unless for some reason I have an appointment and I'm still driving in the car, but I'll always try and attend it. And it's like what you said, the people who are coming there, and they are really supportive too. And that's,
Yes.
I don't know if it's the people that Evan attracts, or because um, not in every training group where people go live, there's the same level of support. Although I have to say, when it comes to personal growth, there's a lot of support involved. But it seems to be up a notch when it comes to
I,
movement
I
makers.
think it's I think it's the kind of people that he attracts because personally, I didn't just go and buy a subscription to Movement Makers just off the bat.
Mm,
I followed him. I
yes,
listened to him on Clubhouse. I listened to him on YouTube. I saw him on Instagram. I saw the things he was doing, and it made sense to me. I was like, okay, if this, he's consistent
yes, he
in
is.
what he does, in all the platforms where he is at, he's consistent. So just having a level of consistency, like I said, people are watching. You wouldn't
Yes,
even know who you are influencing, but they're watching and they're waiting to see, hey, are they true to what they say? Are they practicing what they preach? Are they, so when you can watch, hey, Michael, when you can see
yeah, he
somebody
loves
doing the
people.
things that they say, yeah, when you can see people doing the things that they preach. So personally for me, I watched him, and I wasn't watching him for the sake of, hey, I want to watch him and see him, but I was just like, I was constantly drawn to what he was doing. And then down the road, I was like, okay, you know what? It's time. I want to be a part of this group. So I went and I bought it. And I'm thinking there might be lots of people who did the same steps that I did. You would see him
Yes,
on YouTube, you'll be pulled into his circle, you'll be looking at him, you'll go on his lives and watch him and see the way he responds to people. And then he talks about, hey, I have a group of people who do this. He's like, okay, I want to be a part of that, you know.
yes, that's,
So I think it's really, that was it for me. And like I said,
yeah,
I just told you I got onto it the day you guys were on Clubhouse and everybody was sharing stories. I said, I want to share a story here
yes.
like that. So I clicked on the link and I bought it. Yeah, so I think it's the people he attracts, and we all need to be able to copy from that. And I think we are. I think we're all doing that in our various movements, and we just need to have the community of people who are doing the same thing. So hey, you're not crazy to think this way or to do this. You're not telling people to speak out live. Who does that, right? Like, I mean, you telling people to speak up so you can speak out.
Yes.
You're saying that to people, but who in their right senses
Well, we
goes
are
around
doing
doing
it
that
right
apart from
now.
crazy people like us?
Yes.
Exactly, right? So, and
So,
I'm going around and I'm saying, hey, I was broke. I mean, I was in debt, and I'm sharing my story, and people would look at me like, Ida, but why are you putting your finances out there? I'm like, yeah, I put it because I want people to learn and be influenced and do better for themselves, learn from my mistakes. So if these are the people that are being pulled into his circle, then of course it's a
I
group
love
of people
that.
who like to support each other. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
so true. I have to cut it short. Um,
Yeah.
Michael said he's already been following Evan for 10 years. I also see Lisa
Wow.
on there. I know her from a mastermind group, and I love seeing that she's following this and that she loves what we are talking about. I have to drive myself, and that means that the life is going to be interrupted and all that stuff. I really want to
Yes.
talk on with you because I agree with what you said about um, the importance of sharing your story and how it actually can change things when you start sharing your story. And I don't know if you have some time on Wednesday at 7 p.m. your time. I'm doing my own show about speaking up, speaking out with Joe, Cheeky Joe. You might have seen it. I'm not sure.
Cheeky
But
Joe. Yeah, I've seen a post. Yes, like that.
yeah, so I'll clue you in and I'll tag you, and then if you want to join, you're welcome. We usually go live for at least 90 minutes, up till like 2 hours or sometimes longer. So there must be
Okay.
some time for you to join. But
No
thank
problem.
you.
Let me know. I would. Yeah, just let me know. If I have time, definitely I'll jump on. Like right now, I'm just driving back home, and I said, okay, yes, let's do it. I'll talk while driving. So
Yes, well,
yeah.
I love it. So I want to say thank you for the bottom of my heart. And I'll speak to you tonight, later on, when Terry, with a raspy voice, is going to guide us through Evan Carmichael's challenge and the outcome of it. So that's going to be cool. I don't think Terry has done a show since he's gotten that ill. So I'm curious what he's going to sound like because Terry is amazing when it comes to, when he starts a
Yes.
show, when he finishes the things he remembers and says. I mean, also the intonation in his voice. I mean, that guy is amazing. Okay, so so
Awesome.
yeah.